recorded drop, you can't ignore it. I'm transforming now these cars and planes, I'm always boarding. Just out touring down in Charlotte like I play for Hornets.
Good Saturday morning, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing out there in social media land? Guess what? You are tuned in to the TFG Sports Show, the best 30-minute sports talk show on social media. I am your host with the most. I'm Kendrick. Hope everybody is having a great Saturday morning. It's a little chilly outside, too chilly for my taste because I do not like cold weather. But guess what? It is what it is. You got to adapt and make do. So again, hope everybody's having a great start to your weekend. I know all the kids, I think, are out on Christmas vacation. And speaking of that, you got 7 more shopping days until Christmas. So if you better get busy, if you got these gifts and all these things you got to get for your loved ones and your side chicks and your side dudes and whoever. But I give you 2 words. The gift that keeps on giving, it makes it easy for you. Cash App. Believe me, again, most people love money more than anything else. So again, if you ain't got your shopping done, you better get busy. Again, you're watching the TFG Sports Media Show. I'm your host, Kendrick. Make sure you come in, say something, talk to me. We're going to chat a little bit about sports. Make sure you come in, you like, and share this to your social media platforms. And also, make sure you TFG Sports Media on YouTube. Make sure you go over there and subscribe. I think we are at 936, 937. And I said by the end of the year, I think we can get to 1,000. I'm still holding to that. So go over there. Make sure you like and subscribe to TFG Sports Media on YouTube. Make sure you like and follow TFG Sports Media on Facebook as well. So let's jump right into our quick hits. Let's go ahead and get started. Again, make sure you come in and comment. Let me know you're here. We're going to talk a little bit. Some of our top news stories, sports stories that happened this week. Number one, we're talking about Texas Longhorns basketball men's coach Chris Beard. He was arrested on Monday morning and was charged with felony domestic violence. That's a 3rd-degree felony in Texas. And that was assault of a family member / impede breath circulation or strangulation. And actually, it was his fiance. According to reports from the Austin, Texas statesman, he and his fiance had gotten into an argument. His fiance pulled his glasses off his face. He grabbed her, put her in a chokehold, and bit her on her arm. This is according to reports from the Austin statesman in Austin, Texas. Now, the Texas University did suspend him indefinitely. Don't know if he's coming back or not, but he has been suspended without pay. His bond was set at $10,000. He actually bonded out that same day. So Chris Beard could be done as the Texas men's basketball coach because in his contract it says if you do anything to embarrass the university or even charged or accused of a felony, that gives them rights to sever this contract. So Chris Beard may be out at Texas after only 2 years. He came from Texas Tech after taking Texas Tech to the Final Four, and he had a pretty good season last year. And actually right now, the Texas men are ranked number 7 in the nation. So Chris Beard may be out as the men's Texas Longhorns basketball coach. Now, quick hit number 2. We got a sad story. We lost one of the most innovative college head coaches to ever grace the sideline. Mississippi State University head coach Mike Leach suffered a massive heart attack on Sunday at his home in Starksville. Then on Monday, he was in critical condition at the Jackson, Mississippi hospital, where eventually he would pass away. So again, we sending our condolences out to the Mississippi State University family, the Leach family, and all those that Mike Leach came in contact with. He was one of a kind. You know, he was at Mississippi State for 3 years. He was 19-17 in those 3 years. He was 8-4 this season. And overall, in his 21 seasons as a head coach at Texas Tech and Washington State and Mississippi State, he was 158-107. So again, rest in peace, Mike Leach. Was the head coach of Mississippi State. Now, quick hit number 3. Speaking of Mississippi, we stand in Mississippi. Jackson State, I told you, I broke this on TFG Tonight with Brent Haynes. I told you that it was probably going to happen. Jackson State has named their new head coach to replace Coach Prime, who is headed to Colorado. T.C. Taylor is going to be the next head coach at Jackson State. He was on Coach Prime's staff. He was the wide receivers coach, and he also is a Jackson State alumni. He played his college football at Jackson State from 1998 to 2001. And he returned to the Jackson State Tigers as a position coach in 2019. So congratulations to T.C. Taylor. Hopefully he can continue to that foundation, to build off of that foundation that Coach Prime started. Speaking of Jackson State, they are playing in the Celebration Bowl. That's the Black National Championship game. It kicked off at 11 a.m. on ABC. They play in North Carolina Central. It's going on right now, but don't go over there just yet. Stay here. You can record it on your DVR, but Jackson State is playing right now, and that will be Coach Prime's last game at coaching the Jackson State. Now, quick hit number 4. Let's jump to the Cowboys. They signed a wide receiver, T.Y. Hilton, on Monday. Now, Hilton spent 10 years with the Colts, but he has been out of football the last year. In his career, he's caught 631 balls, 9,169 yards, 53 touchdowns, and he's played in 143 regular season games. And that's interesting that they would sign T.Y. Hilton because Jerry Jones went on told the USA Today that they're getting very close to signing Odell Beckham Jr. So they got a log jam. They got a lot of receivers at their position. They just got James Washington back as well. So I don't know if that's going to be a good signing, but I will keep you posted on that. This could happen next week. Odell Beckham Jr. could be a Dallas Cowboy. Now, to stay on the Cowboys, they did lose their right tackle, Terrence Steele, for the rest of the season. He tore his ACL and MCL, and he suffered that during the win versus the Texans last week. Now, let's go to our quick hit number 5. We lost another legend, former NBA legend, player, coach Paul Silas. He died Sunday at the age of 79. He was a 3-time NBA champion in the 70s, played for the Celtics and the Sonics. He began his coaching career with the San Diego Clippers in the early 80s and would be LeBron James' first NBA coach in Cleveland in 2003, 2004. He also coached the Hornets twice, the Cavaliers, and the Charlotte Bobcats. So again, rest in peace to an NBA legend, player, coach Paul Silas, and his son actually is the head coach of the Houston Rockets, Steven Silas. So the NBA lost another legend. All right, let's get into our NFL Week 15 preview. We got some NFL games today too on Saturday. We got 3 of them. If you didn't know, we got 3 games today. Matter of fact, the game I'm gonna preview first is the Dolphins at the Bills. That's tonight, 7:15 p.m. on NFL Network. The Dolphins come in at 8-5. The Bills are 10-3, sitting atop the AFC East, as well as the number 1 seed in the AFC right now are the Bills. Dolphins are trying to keep pace with the Bills in that division. The Dolphins are looking to clinch a playoff berth on tonight for the first time in 6 seasons. They could clinch one tonight if they defeat the Bills. Now, the Dolphins could also sweep the season series because the Dolphins already defeated the Bills back in September 21-19. The Bills have won 4 straight games and they are 1 win from clinching their 4th straight playoff berth as well. Again, the Dolphins are looking to get back in the win column. They're coming off a 23-17 loss at the Chargers. Now, the Bills are 7-2 in their past 9 December home games against Miami, and that's pointing to me thinking that the Bills most likely will win this game. And the elements is going to be a factor because according to weather reports, I saw a picture posted on Twitter. Buffalo got a bunch of snow, so they're going to be playing in a whole lot of snow tonight in Buffalo. Now, ESPN does this analytic makeup thing where they pick and choose who has the most probability of winning or losing. Right now, Miami has a 23.7% chance of winning this game tonight, whereas the Bills have a 76.1% chance of winning this game tonight. So we'll see if Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs can get it done. Remember, the Bills are without the linebacker Von Miller. He's out for the season because of that slight tear to the ACL. My pick tonight, I'm going with the Bills. I think I think the run game is definitely going to be crucial because of the elements, but I'm picking the Bills to get it done. Bills 20, Dolphins 10. Again, I think the weather could be a factor. The Dolphins like to throw the ball around a little bit to Tua, Tagovailoa, loves to throw it to Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. So that snow, the weather is going to definitely change their game plan. So look for the run game to be the key in that matchup tonight. Now, our second game that we're previewing, we got the first place NFC East Eagles. They are 12-1. They're going to be at the Bears, 3-10. who are 3-10. That's going to be an early game on Fox on Sunday. Now, the series record, the Bears lead this series all-time 29-16-1. Last meeting, the Eagles did defeat the Bears 22-14. That was in November 2019 in Philly. Again, last week, the Eagles beat the brakes off the Giants. That game really wasn't, well, the score wasn't close, but it was bad. 48-22, and the Bears had a bye, so they had some time to get ready for these Eagles. Now, Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts, who's right now, in my opinion, the front runner to win the NFL MVP at 24 years old, 126 days. He is the second youngest quarterback to start 12-1 since the 1970 merger, NFL, AFL, behind Dan Marino, who in 1984 was roughly 25 years old, I believe. Now, Hurts is 17-2 in his past 19 regular season starts. Let me say that again. He's only lost 2 games in his last, 19 starts. So Eagles are running on all cylinders. They clicking everywhere. They with that run pass option that they run so well. The second-year head coach Nick Sirianni had them playing some really good balls. Now, a really good ball. Now, the Eagles have won 5 straight against the Bears, and that's counting the playoffs. And the Eagles have already clinched the playoff spot. So they in there. They're the number 1 seed right now in the NFC East, in the NFC East as well as the NFC. And the way it looks, I don't think they're going to lose that number 1 strength hold no time soon. The Cowboys got to keep up with them though if they want a chance of even trying to win the East. I don't think it's going to happen. I think the Cowboys got too much to overcome. Again, now the Eagles defense leads the NFL with 49 sacks, and the Eagles have only turned it over 10 times. That leads the NFL as well. The Chicago Bears are on a 6-game losing streak. This is their second one in 3 years. Justin Fields has 3 touchdown runs of 50 yards or more, and that's the most by any quarterback this season. My pick, the Eagles at the Bears. The Bears this could be an upset, but I don't see it happen. I'm picking the Eagles to improve to 13-1 and win this 30-13. Now, our last NFL preview game, we talk about those. Speaking of Cowboys, 10-3 are at the Jacksonville Jaguars with 5-8. That's the early game on Fox on Sunday. This game could be a trap game for the Cowboys because let's be honest, they shouldn't have won that game against the Texans last week. But sometimes you win ugly. Sometimes when you're a good team, they all ain't gonna be pretty. A win is a win, especially at the NFL level. Now the Jaguars are on a little roll. They beat down the Tennessee Titans last week. They've won 3 of their last 5 games, and they still in the playoff hunt in that AFC South. Now this is the first meeting between the Jags and the Cowboys since 2006, 16 years ago. Cowboys could clinch a playoff berth with a win on tomorrow for the 2nd consecutive year. They last did that in 2007. Now the Cowboys have won 4 in a row and 6 of their last 7 games. And check this out. This was the 1 month that they had all problems winning in when Romo was a quarterback. But since Mike McCarthy has been head coach, the Cowboys are 9-1 in December. They are 9-1 in December. So this is when they've been able to reel off some good wins. Now, again, the ESPN matchup predictor, that's what they predict which team has the best chance of winning. Right now, the Cowboys are sitting at 75.1% of winning on Sunday. This is the ESPN matchup predictor, and the Jaguars have a 24.6% of winning on Sunday. Now, the Cowboys, I did read before we came on, that Tyron Smith is supposedly playing this game. They're going to move him to right tackle. He normally played left tackle. That's where Tyler Smith, their number 1 draft choice, is playing. They're going to move Tyron Smith to right tackle because right tackle Terrence Steele, what I said earlier, he's out for the season with a torn MCL, ACL. Now, the thing is, Tyron Smith has played right tackle before. He did play that in his rookie season with the Cowboys in 2011. So he is familiar with playing the right tackle position. So that's what the report said, that Tyron Smith most likely is going to play right tackle rather than move Tyler Smith over from the left side. Just keep him where he's at. Now, speaking of injuries, again, Terrence Steele is out for the season, and cornerback Anthony Brown for the Cowboys is out for the season as well. As far as the Jaguars, linebacker Trayvon Walker, quarterback Trevor Lawrence was listed as questionable, but I'm sure they're going to play. Cowboys defensive end Dorrance Armstrong was listed as questionable, but I did read that he's going to play. And safety Jerron Kearse, Tight end Jake Ferguson, he's out. I did read that. He's not going to play Sunday. And defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence is questionable, but I'm sure he will play. So, again, those are the injury reports. Now, my pick, this is an upset. I know y'all Cowboy fans going to be mad at me, but I'm picking the Jaguars to win this game. I think this is going to be upset. I think the Cowboys played a little too sloppy last week. They didn't take the Texans seriously. I think they're gonna go in here in Jacksonville kind of with that same mentality. I could be wrong. I think they're gonna have some stupid penalties, which they didn't have any. They only had like 3 penalties last week. I think penalties gonna do them in this week. I look for the Jaguars to upset the Cowboys 24-20. Now, some of the Saturday games, like I said before, we got the Colts at the Vikings. That's a 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today on NFL Network. We got the Ravens 9-4 at the Browns 5-8. That's a 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time game today as well on the NFL Network. All these games on the NFL Network. And again, the night game, as I told you, is the Dolphins at the Bills, and that's on the NFL Network again. So we got NFL on Saturday, this Saturday, and then next Saturday we do have some more games, especially the big one next Saturday will be the Cowboys hosting the Eagles. That's a Christmas Eve game. Don't know the time yet, but I'm sure that's probably going to be a primetime game. But Cowboys hosting the Eagles on Christmas Eve. Now, other Sunday games of notes for the NFL, the Chiefs 10-3 at the Texans, who are 1-11-1. The Lions are at the Jets. The Bengals are at the Bucks. And the Giants are at the Commanders, and that's the Sunday night game. Those are some of the big games on Sunday. All right, let's move on to our next topic. Mr. Producer, let's move it on. I think we talking about Chuck. Yeah, I know who Chuck is. Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley, one of the co-hosts of TNT. Well, you know, he gets a lot of flack for a lot of things, but he did put his money where his mouth is, and I want to give him props for that. Charles Barkley donated $2 million to HBCUs, $1 million apiece to Jackson State, and $1 million to Bethune-Cookman. Now, Barkley has previously given money to HBCUs, to Alabama A&M, to Clark Atlanta University, to Morehouse, to Miles College, to Tuskegee, and Spelman as well. So again, and people ask, Chuck can say some outlandish stuff sometimes, and a lot of times he catches some heat from a lot of us, the people that look like us. But my thing is, this is what I was talking about last week. I believe that when it comes to HBCUs, if we want them to be better, we got to support them financially. And when it comes to that, we have to be the ones to do it. Coach Prime caught all this flack about him leaving Ace Jackson and going to Colorado, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not going to talk about that, but we're talking about Chuck giving his money, and this is what we need. We got so many of us entertainers and athletes that our HBCUs could be at a better position. And what that means, then you can bring in better qualified coaches or whatever when you have a budget at these schools. And then we all know the athletic programs, they are at Power 5 schools and wherever. Those are the ones that pay the bills. Athletics pay the bills at colleges and universities. So what better way than to bring our HBCUs up to standard where our 5-star and 4-star athletes can go, instead of feeling like they have to run off to the University of Oklahomas and the Texases and Alabamas and whatnot, or UCLAs. They can go right to the Jackson States, the Alabama A&Ms, the Gramblin's, the Florida A&Ms. We just got to, and it's about money. Hey, ain't nothing in this world runs. You got to have money to make stuff run. So let's go and just keep it funky. You got to have money. So these alums and all these at these HBCUs, they can be sitting here saying, what needs to be done. What are you doing as far as financially supporting your institution? So hats off to Chuck. He did sign that big extension with TNT worth of up to $200 million over the next decade. So he had a little money to spend. So again, I want to say hats off. Give Chuck salute, man. That's a beautiful thing. So hopefully a lot of the other stars and entertainers will follow suit. Now we know Bill Cosby has done it. Oprah has given big to HBCUs. I believe even Tyler Perry has done it. We've had some that's done it. The UNCF College Fund. I don't even know if that still is going on. So how are these HBCUs going to be able to compete with Power Fives? It takes money, and it takes us supporting those institutions. But so again, Chuck, congratulations. Shout out to you on that. Now let's move to our next topic. Let's talk about the NBA. Robert Smith, you're right. That's right, Robert Smith. He gave a big. Oh, he paid off some two loans for black college students. I can't remember which college, but he paid off their student loans. Yeah, a couple of years ago. Robert Smith, definitely. Shout out to him as well. Let's move on to our next. Thanks, Black Hollywood Reporter. Appreciate you dropping in as well. We're talking about the NBA. Regular season awards have been renamed. This was this I didn't know they was gonna do this, but hey, it is what it is. And the LeBron James supporters, I'm sure, ain't gonna like this, but it makes sense. The now NBA MVP regular season winner, the award would be called the Michael Jordan Trophy. That is going to be the MVP of the NBA regular season. The actual award trophy stands 23.6 inches tall. You get it? 23 was his number. The 6 was how many championships he won as an NBA player. So now they're going to name that trophy the Michael Jordan Trophy. That goes to the NBA regular season MVP, and it's going to be retroactive. Actually, Nikola Jokic, the center for Denver, they're going to go back, and I guess I don't know if they're going to redo the trophy, but they're going to going back retroactively and calling that the Michael Jordan Trophy for the MVP. Now, some of the other renaming of awards, these are regular season awards again. Defensive Player of the Year will be called the Hakeem Olajuwon Trophy. You all know the Hakeem played for the Houston Rockets his entire career, and he was a defensive beast as well as an offensive beast as well. But the Defensive Player of the Year award now would be called the Hakeem Olajuwon Trophy. The Rookie of the Year award will now be called the Wilt Chamberlain Trophy. Wilt still played for the Philadelphia Warriors, the Los Angeles Lakers. He was the leading scorer for some time before Kareem overtook him as an NBA all-time leading scorer, and him and Bill Russell were the two mainstays in the 60s when you talk about the NBA. Those two centers, legendary centers, they ruled the NBA. So the new Rookie of the Year award would be called the Wilt Chamberlain Trophy. The Sixth Man of the Year award now we call the John Havlicek Trophy. If you don't know who John Havlicek is, he played for the Boston Celtics on a lot of those NBA championship title teams, and he was the Sixth Man of the Year. He was a sixth man. He came off the bench, and he was one heck of a sixth man. Now, I had a kinfolk reached out to me about why John Havlicek, and he was saying it should have been Vinnie Johnson. Well, I don't have a problem with from the Detroit Pistons. You know, they call him the microwave. Well, you said you look at Vinnie Johnson's and John Havlicek's resume, you set them side by side, you understand why the Sixth Man Award should be called the John Havlicek Award. Or even my man that retired, it could be called, I can't think of his name, he played for the Knicks, but Jamal, I can't think of his name right now, but he could have been in the running for Sixth Man of the Year award too, because he was one of those guys, he'll come off the bench and he could give you 25 real quick like that. But I ain't got a problem with them naming this the John Havlicek Trophy Award. That, again, that's the Sixth Man of the Year award. Now, the Most Improved Player award will now be called the George Mikan Trophy. George Mikan was the first actual NBA big man to play in the NBA from the 50s to 60s. He was with the Minneapolis Lakers. If you didn't know, the Los Angeles Lakers were in Minneapolis first before moving to Los Angeles. George Mikan was the first big man in the NBA, and now that award, the Most Improved Player, will be called the George Mikan Trophy. Now, there's a new award they created, the Clutch Player of the Year award, and it's going to be called the Jerry West Trophy. You know who Jerry West is? Not Jamal Mashburn. Not him, Lamb, but I can't think of his name right now. He'll come to me after I'm off the show. That award is Jerry West. I can see that. Jerry West played in 9 finals in his career, and he's the only player to win the finals MVP while losing the series. Jerry West played with the Lakers. Again, he played in 9 finals. And I think that he only eventually won 2, if I'm not mistaken. So the new award that the NBA has created is called the Clutch Player of the Year Trophy, and it will be called the Jerry West Trophy. I'd like to know what you guys think. when you watch this later. Drop it in the column. Drop your comments. Let me know what you think about that. And I'm with the MVP award because I'm a Jordan guy, and there's nobody else gonna change that. You can present your debate and all your whatever. LeBron, I'm not dissing LeBron. I think he's a great player. I'm not dissing Bill Russell. I think he's a legend. Obviously, we can go Wilt, Magic, Larry Bird, so many names out there, but MJ is my guy. Everybody wanted to be like Mike. He took the NBA to another level. Actually, Larry and Magic brought it out of the dumpster fire that it was in. Those two, but then Mike, he took it to a whole different level. It took it to a global level. So again, that was the NBA awards renamed. Now we're getting down to my hot mic segment. Lamb, go ahead. This is Shannon and Skip Bayless. This happened earlier this week. This is a little clip of what they were saying. Check this out.
In a 5-6 day week. So Tom Brady the night before, he's making tweets when he didn't stay up those 80 to 100 hours. So shouldn't they have a problem with that?
Who do you think watches more tape, Tom Brady or all the coaches?
All the coaches.
Stop it.
All the coaches.
Stop
Skip,
it.
I'm not going to let you do it.
No,
I'm not going to let you do it.
I'm going to do
I
it
don't care.
because I just
I'm
did
not
it.
going to let you be disrespectful to these damn coaches because you love Tom Brady.
Never did anything because you can't stand it that Tom Brady at 45 is still playing this game at a very high level.
Yeah. Do you see these numbers?
Yeah.
These numbers say Tom Brady's not playing at a high level.
I need you.
No,
okay, you're
that's
in the
not what
Hall
it's
of Fame
about.
because you're scared to death of him because he's haunted you. Time out. Ladies and gentlemen at home. Hey, wait a minute. This is just straight hate by a guy who's jealous that he is still playing at a high level at 45 when you had to stop at 35.
Yeah, that's what you do.
That's the point.
That's what you do. Every time I call something into question, I'm jealous.
No.
Skip, I did what I did.
I never said you were jealous of Baker Mayfield.
Skip, I did what I did. You make it seem like I was a bum. I'm in the effing Hall of Fame.
Okay,
I got 3 Super Bowls.
So what?
So what?
He's way better than you were.
I'm better than you.
Better.
Skip, what I got to see what you do? You take personal shots.
No, I don't take personal shots. You started it.
Time out. You would take a personal shot at me.
I didn't take a personal shot at you.
Wait a minute.
What are you talking about?
You would take a personal
Put your glasses back on.
Can I finish? You're willing to take a personal shot at me to say this man is better than me because I say he's playing bad this year?
Well, because you just
Go ahead.
You disrespect him. It's just so.
You
know what? It's beneath your
you
dignity.
You disrespect me to support him.
No, well, I'll support him over anybody because he's the greatest player who ever played your game, and it's by far.
Have at it.
Okay,
Take off, bro.
I'm going to have at it because I'm going to have at you because what happened yesterday?
And yes, this happened on Monday, and let me say my hot mic moment. Skip Bayless totally disrespected Shannon Sharpe, and if I was Shannon Sharpe after that segment, we would have had a knockdown drag out, and it would have become physical because how do you go on air and disrespect your co-host like that? He totally disrespected a 3-time Super Bowl champion, Hall of Famer, and said he's jealous of Tom Brady just because you a Tom Brady fanboy. You disrespect your co-host. I wonder how did they handle this? Total disrespect. And this is something that my brother. Make sure this is gonna be not a shameless plug. Make sure you check out TFG Tonight with Brent Haynes on Monday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central with myself, Lee Black, and Devin Devine. This is something that Brent Haynes has said. White men do not like to be embarrassed. And guess what? Shannon has been killing Skip Bayless in debates for over the last 3 months. If you watch Undisputed, Shannon has been killing him in debates. And what happens is Skip he doesn't have any comebacks, so then he resort to this personal name. Yeah, Lamb says total disrespect. Exactly. Has Skip ever played? Yeah, he played high school ball. He played high school ball and averaged 2 points per game, basketball. Matter of fact, Jalen Rose called him out on that too. Jalen Rose some years ago. Y'all, if you get a chance, go to YouTube, search Jalen Rose calls out Skip Bayless. Go watch that segment. That happened some years ago when Skip Bayless was on ESPN on First Take, and Jalen Rose was never allowed back on First Take again after that incident. Make sure you go check that out. Search Jalen Rose calls out Skip Bayless on ESPN. You'll see. So Skip Bayless is known for doing this. His arguments are weak. His debates are weak. All he is a villain. And you know the sad part about it is people like to watch villains. That's why he is who he is, because he's a villain. But people like to watch that, even if they they ain't. But their debates are whack. He's making $6 million a year, guys. And what this is, I think he's setting up a rejoining of. I think him and Stephen A. Smith are eventually going to end up back together. In my mind, I think this show has run its course. They've been together 6 years. Shannon doesn't need Skip Bayless. He got Club Shay Shay, his own YouTube channel, which he does interviews, which is dope, that I subscribe to. Shannon, at this point, I don't know what his contract situation is, but at this point, I wouldn't re-up. I think the Undisputed is stale anyway. I've never really liked Skip Bayless, I'll be honest with you. But again, I get it. It's a debate show, and somebody has to be a villain, and he plays a villain well, but his debates are corny and off the wall, and he's a clown. So again, that's my hot mic take on the Shannon and Skip. Again, I would have gave Skip a 2-piece with a pepper and a biscuit after that segment, but that's just me. So again, we'll see what happens, and we're gonna see what's happening. I'm gonna keep my eye on that show. So again, I want to thank everybody for watching today. My man Lamb Levity, Black Hollywood reporter. Lamar, thanks for running the tools behind the scenes. And also just want a quick programming note. We won't be here next Saturday at 11 because it's Christmas Eve. So we're going to take next Saturday off, but we definitely will be back New Year's Eve at the same time, same day, 11 a.m. And I will be doing my top 5 sports stories of 2022. So make sure you check that out on December 31st. We will be here, but we're taking Christmas Eve off. And make sure before you get out of here, you watch this later, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, TFG Sports Media on YouTube. Again, we almost at we're getting close. We about 60-some subscribers to getting 1,000. And I'm still saying that I think we're going to get there before the end of the year. Make sure you do that. Make sure you comment and share this all to your social media platforms. Also, make sure you follow TFG Sports Media on Facebook. Now, we do got some college games. I forgot to tell you this. We got some college games that's happening right now. Again, the Celebration Bowl is going on with Jackson State and North Carolina Central. They're playing right now on ABC if you want to go check that out. We got bowl games today. We got Cincinnati at Louisville that's playing right now. We got Florida at Oregon State, 2:30 p.m. on ESPN. We got Washington State versus Fresno State, 3:30 on ABC. Then we got Rice and Southern Miss at 5:45 on ESPN. And then we got SMU versus BYU on ABC tonight at 7:30 p.m., 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. So again, make sure you come back, check me out. New Year's Eve, we'll be back. Also, make sure you check out some of the other shows on TFG Network. My man Lamb Levity, go to his channel, subscribe to that. The Real Estate Insider, make sure you go to that YouTube channel, subscribe to that. Make sure you check out TFG Tonight with myself, the host Brenton Haynes, Lee Black, and Devin Devine on Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. And today, check out my guy, Real Talk for Real Men, Lee Black, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Central on his YouTube channel, as well as TFG Uncut and TFG Ratchet. Check him out. If you ain't doing nothing this evening, go check him out at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. So again, I've been your host, Kendrick. You've been watching the TFG Sports Show. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. We'll see you on New Year's Eve. You all have a great one. I holler. I'm out.